What's up guys, Card Protagonist here. Today, I'll be doing a deck profile on Subaru's AstroDragon deck from S-BT04 Drago Knight. Cross is back with positioning tactics, rewarding strategic players with great balance of offense and defense. AstroDragon has gotten quality support from the newest booster, with amazing cards with Gyro Magna and Cross and Item Searcher. AstroDragons are looking amazing this set. So without further ado, let's study this deck. For this deck profile, I will still be using Coop as his buddy, as it is a very flexible monster and can be caught during your turn or your opponent's turn, guaranteeing you that buddy gift. Later in the deck profile, you'll see why Coop is the buddy of choice. So first up, we play 3 copies of Cross Iris, the newest Astro that we've gotten from the booster set. The SP art of this Cross is simply out of this world. With a cheap card cost of 2 and putting the top card of the deck into his soul, you gain an extremely powerful Galaxy F unit. Unlike its previous form, it's not too reliant on having too many monsters on the field to unlock its Galaxy F. This unique ability has 3 parts. The first part, if AstroDragon is on the left, this card and the left AstroDragon gains plus 10k defense, making any creature you put on the left and itself become extremely tanky, so the opponent will most likely have to link attack. So it's really good because it boosts up your defense during your opponent's turn. Second ability, if an AstroDragon is on your right, this card and that AstroDragon gains plus extra 2 critical. This is one of the strongest crit gaining Astros that we have because most of them do gain 1 crit. However, do note that this only buffs up this creature and the creature on the right, so your monster on the left and the item won't be able to gain the extra 2 crits. So there are pros and cons of this ability. And finally, if you have an item equipped, this card and that item gains plus extra 10k power. So it's really good because you'll be able to run over walls. And yes, both left and right won't be able to gain the 10k attack power. So the fighter must be very careful when planning an attack, because the powers, crit and defense is distributed all over the place. The deck is no longer as autopilot, but it's now an extremely powerful deck. So we play 3 copies of this Cross because this is still the main winning image of the deck. And I also play 1 tagging copy of King's Brilliance. It is still an extremely powerful unit due to the fact that it's able to resend the whole field, and also it grants the penetrate ability. The reason why I play 1 copy of this card in the deck is because most of the time I will be searching out my crosses so I can choose which crosses I want depending on the matchup. So right now I do play 1 copy. In case I do fight against war decks, I do call him out most of the time. And also I have been calculating the numbers between these 2 crosses, and if you want to do more damage, this is the one to go. Because in a similar formation, this card will grant you 36 damage per turn, while this card gains you 24. However, during your opponent's turn, or if you're going first, I highly recommend you to call Cross Iris, because this card is really defensive. So you've got to balance out your crosses, and technically most of the time I just call him out just because he has the penetrate ability to fight against wall decks, and also its ability to reset is really neat against rest heavy decks. So yeah, I do play 1 as a tech copy and it works out really well. Now for the support monster, we play 4 copies of Gyro Magna. Gyro Magna is an amazing card in this set just because it is a size 0, which is one of the sizes that AstroDragon has been lacking for a really long time. Gyro Magna is not originally a size 0, however, if you have an AstroDragon in the center, this card minuses 3 size. It has a core cost of putting 2 AstroDragons from your drop zone into its soul and paying 2 gauge. So this guy is a really tanky 3 times body. When your opponent casts attack and this card's on the left or right, change the target to this card. This ability makes all the difference. Due to the fact that this also protects Cross from penetrate, this amazing ability is able to stack with Cross defensive ability, making a 15k defense very difficult to run through. The move ability is very important in this deck, especially when planning attack. So I'm going to give you a quick example. Most of the time what you want to do is have your offensive unit at the right. So since this guy has double attack, during a battle phase you really want to have this guy on the right and have Coop on the left, because Coop grants you charge, draw, heal when he attacks, and Gyron will have the double attack ability. So with Galaxy F ability, you'll be getting 2 crits, you'll be a 4 crit double attack, which means you'll be dealing 8 damage to your opponents. At the end of the battle phase, after attacking with everything, Coop will bounce back to your hand, and during your opponent's turn, you can move it to the left so that you'll be tanking with the 3 soul monster. Very powerful. So therefore, you really have to position your units correctly and not misplay. If you misplay, you'll be very detrimental to your combos. Next up, we play 4 copies of Coop. Classic good boy. This card is simply amazing. Counter ability, you can call it anytime. During your turn or your opponent's turn, not only he grants you extra attack by calling itself during your battle phase, you can also come down during your opponent's battle phase as a charm blocker, which gives you the extra offense and defense. And what makes this card simply amazing is the fact that you'll be able to bounce back during your final phase, so you'll be able to reuse this unit during your opponent's turn. And also when this unit attacks, if you have 3 or more AstroDragons on the field, when this card attacks, you can charge, draw and heal, granting you so much pluses whenever it attacks. 4 is simply a must in all AstroDragon builds. 4 copies of everyone's favorite Fred. I want to thank Paddy and the young fan who actually offered to trade me his own Fred. I traded him my AstroDragon star for his foil Fred. I want to thank you so much for this awesome card, and I finally feel so happy just because I have 4 copies of foil. So thank you so much, bro. Fred does an amazing mode of granting you resources when this card enters the field, charge 2 gauge and draw 1 card. And this card is not once per turn, and therefore you can spam it, but be very careful of Loyalty, because Loyalty does shut down his deck a bit. So 4 copies of Fred, because with him, you will never have any gauge problems. And 2 copies of Billet. I'm so happy that I can use him again. He's just such an amazing unit in this deck right now, because of the fact we play Gyron. So it is a size 0, has a core cost of 1. Its first ability gives you a bit of immunity. During your turn, all AstroDragon cards on the field cannot be rested or returned to your hand by opponent's card effect. So it's kind of important in that because right now all our crosses does not have any rest immunity, unlike its cross financier counterpart. So having this guy on the field really helps you against those rest heavy decks. The main reason why I run the Cube Professor is because of the fact that he'll be able to retrieve some units, his last ability. When this card enters the field, you may put up to one size 2 or greater AstroDragon monster from your drop zone into your hand. So this card right now is extremely important just by the fact that you'll be able to grab that cross, and most importantly, your Gyron Magna. When Gyron Magna is in your drop zone, the only way to fetch him back now is by Billet. And it's awesome because Gyron Magna is a pseudo size 0. It becomes a size 3 now in the drop zone, so you can fetch it back with Billet. So what I'll do is I'll call Billet. Billet's skill can fetch me back 1 Magna. Magna to the right. During battle phase, I can use Magna skill, have the double attack with 4 crits. 4 crits, 8 damage, 8 damage, then 1 damage. Then I'll just call Coop over, replacing it. Coop, charge draw. Then at the end of battle phase, final phase, bounce it back. Opponent's turn, I'll just put it here and carry on to defensive formation. I forgot to mention that Coop is very important for clearing slots because you want to clear the slot so that you can use Magna and move over to left. So yeah, Coop has many uses in the deck right now. Let us go into these spells. For this spells, we play 4 copies of Rising Light. This card is what all AstroDragon players has been waiting for a really long time. This card is our Cross Searcher, which is our main engine of the deck and also fetches us 1 free item together with it, which means it instantly completes your F formation for the deck currently. So its cast cost of 2 life, which is pretty much free in this deck. Put up to 1 AstroDragon monster with Cross in its card name and 1 AstroDragon item from deck into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This amazing card has brought our consistency tenfold. I really love this card because this card allows you to choose the cross you want to call, giving you a lot of options depending on the matchup you fight. So we play 4 copies because this card fetches us the engine itself. Next, 4 copy of the set spell, Battle Preparation. Still a great card because it prevents nullification and it's a set spell that grants you advantage during your turn or opponent's turn. So first up, abilities of all Astros on the field cannot be nullified by opponent. Awesome. Secondly, when an AstroDragon enters the field, you gain 1 life and draw a card. This ability activates once per turn during your turn or opponent's turn. And with Coop, this ability is basically live all day. Because most of the time I'll be calling Coop for an extra attack, so I can gain 1 life, draw 1 card. And during opponent's turn, I can call it back to defend my life points as well, so I can draw 1 card and gain 1 life. It is such a great advantage card, and also it counts as an AstroDragon Astro build, which is very important, especially if you are going for the older cross, because it requires you to have 4 AstroDragons on the field, and this counts as an extra attribute. Next up, 3 copies of Decisive Point. Decisive Point is still a very powerful card, but it is not that important anymore because right now we have the item, which prevents our monsters from being destroyed or returned by opponent's card effect. That's why I kind of cut it down from 4, but I plan to cut it down to 2 to make space for some cards that I want to tag in. Next up, 3 copies of Steer the Stars. So you may card this card with AstroDragon on the field, at the cost of 1 life, check the top 4 cards of deck, put a mixture of 2 AstroDragon monsters and items into your hand, and the rest goes to the gauge. So best case scenario, drawing 2 cards and charging 2 gauge. Worst case scenario, hyper energy. Now for some awesome draw power, we play 2 copy of Celesphere Control, one of my favorite draw power. Especially right now with the surge of size 0s, it is very easy to call 3 monsters on the field. So most of the time I'll be drawing 3 cards for free. Amazing card. Draw powers, battle supplies. Another awesome draw power for AstroDragons. You can only cast this card with an item equipped and 2 monsters on the field, which is very easy right now because we have an Astro Searcher which fulfills this condition instantly. So you get to gain 1 life, charge your gauge, and draw 2 cards. Whenever I cast this card, I feel so happy because it gives you so much advantage. For the defensive spell, we have 4 copies of Cross Intersect. The art is really cute and it's very powerful. It has a cast cost of removing 1 soul from AstroDragon or a Link Dragon order on the field. Most of the time, you'll be removing soul from your Cross or your Magna. Counter ability can choose 1 of the 3 abilities. First up, destroy 2 cards of opponent's field. This first part of ability is very important because there are some cards that you really want to snipe off your opponent's board that are items or set spells, and this card does the work. Second ability, bounce back up to 2 cards of opponent's field to hand. Really useful, especially against Vanity Heart's Destroyer base decks because they can't be destroyed by card effects, and you can bounce them back to prevent your death, which is awesome. And finally, rest 2 cards of opponent's field. Really good if you can't be bounced or destroyed. This card is a Plan C. One of the best flexible control cards in the game for 1 soul. Sign me up! More new control cards on the set. 2 copies of CPS. This card ensures that you survive any crazy combo decks. So it has a cast cost of 1 gauge and 1 life. Counter ability, choose 1 of the following. First ability, drop a soul from a card and destroy that card. Or second ability, which is one of the most insane ability. For this turn, damage you take are reduced by 2. It is insane. Remember the card that you never want to see against Lost World? This card, it is exactly the same, except this is a superior version because it's 3. But to be fair, one card that's not in Lost World to have such an amazing ability, I might bump it up to 3 because of the fact that it gives you guaranteed survival against so many combo decks. And it's just insane. It protects you from burn damage, attack damage, anything. It's just such an amazing card. 2 copies of Pulse. Pulse was from the previous set but isn't able to be properly utilized because it is not running the left and right build. But right now, since we are going back to the left and right build, this card works perfectly in the deck. So counter ability, choose and use one of the following abilities. So this is one of those control cards that does not have any cost. And technically this is more of a balanced card because he has both offense and defense. If you have an AstroDragon on your left, rest a monster opponent's field and gain 2 life, giving you extra stability by gaining you life points and resting that dangerous creature. Second ability, if you have an AstroDragon on your right, stand an AstroDragon monster on your field, then deal 1 damage to your opponent. Really good right now because the creature on the right gains 2 critical, so this creature attacks for 4, use this card, restand it, another 4, and you deal 1 damage to your opponent, which makes it 5. I'm trying out this card right now in the deck because I really like how flexible it is. It can help you push for game or help you protect against deadly attacks. The last spell of the deck is 1 copy of Emergency Tactics. Still one of my favorite spells in the game. Amazing tech at 1 because you'll be able to do a lot of things during your opponent's turn. So, pay 1 gauge and call 1 AstroDragon of any size from a drop zone to a field. You can only cast this card once per turn. So the reason why I play this card is because since you're playing the new formation, which is Gyro Magna on the left, when you get destroyed, opponent will be targeting cross. Alright, I Emergency Tactics, call it back. And my opponent won't be able to attack cross and they will have to go through Gyro Magna again in order to even touch my cross. So this card is a really good throw card and it makes my opponent so mad when I cast it. Now for the weapons, we play 3 copies of Callum Rex. The reason why I don't play 4 is because I play 4 of the Searcher and in total I have 7 weapon searchers, which means I'll have 7 chances out of the whole deck to get it and it's pretty much guaranteed in this deck. So equip cost, put up to 2 AstroDragons from a drop zone into his card soul and pay 1 gauge and 1 life. Really awesome because there's so much destruction in the game nowadays, and with this card it won't be going anywhere, so you have double soul stacked in it. My favorite ability is second ability. All AstroDragon monsters on the field cannot be destroyed or bounced by opponent's card effect. Really good because if fighting against Magic Gaga, you really have to have something that protect your monsters, otherwise your monsters get demolished immediately by the deck. So this card really helps against those control decks right now. If you have an AstroDragon on your left or right, this card gains us 1 additional crit. So yeah, it's pretty much a 3 crit double attacking weapon and it's really good. And finally for the impact, we play 2 copies of Celestial Decision. I believe this is Subaru's new impact because it is such an awesome impact. You may only cast card if your opponent is 4 life or less and you have AstroDragon with cross in its name and center. So its cast cost of original 4, reduced by 1 for each attack you've done this turn. So with this deck doing so many attacks, most of the time this is a free impact. Deal 4 damage to your opponent and the damage cannot be reduced. A finisher for free, simply amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on Subaru's AstroDragons. I would like to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I hope this video helps you better understand the deck. And make sure you subscribe for more awesome Buddyfight deck profiles and battles. And also, if you're looking for Buddyfight decks like these, do support me by checking out my online shop, www.cardprotagonist.com. Links in the description box down below. We mail worldwide right to your doorstep. So till next time, keep on Buddyfighting!